Welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for our daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Astros. Find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day. Brett, where can they find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
Always tired this week because we have a lot of 8:30 starts, and I apologize for saying there's an early game. I think I don't know where I saw that.
Well, if they heard the audio, they never heard that.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, definitely this was a awesome game. We'll have to talk about this. Some unlikely hero hit a grand slam today, and we'll talk about if that guy is even going to make the postseason roster because I've changed my mind. And that does happen sometimes, guys. And so, you know who changes his mind a lot about who to follow? That's Sully over at the Locked On MLB podcast. And he likes to change his mind. Like, he used to be a Red Sox fan, but now he's a Mariners fan. And I'm sure he'll become an A's fan. I don't know. But he likes to cover all the different teams. And if you want all the insight in all the teams, go listen to the Locked On MLB podcast. He's on YouTube. We're on YouTube. So go subscribe to Locked On MLB podcast. Subscribe to us on the Locked On Astros podcast. Keep on subscribing. Keep on liking. Tell your friend to listen to us and keep on listening to us on Odyssey, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Keep on doing it, guys. And we're going on up, and we want to keep on going up like the Houston Astros are. And the magic number is 6.
That's
6
right.
is the magic number to clinch, and you'll see the partying. I don't know if it's going to be as rad as the party was with George Springer popping bottles, but I'm sure it's going to be a big celebration, and I'm excited for it. And you know who's excited for that as well? Steve Sparks, because he likes to get wet.
Yeah, that's right. Sparky's going to get wet. That's right. This is a great win. It was a 17-hit outpouring, which led off with Jose Siri absolutely demolishing a pitch in the game. Now, that was his only hit for the day, but man, was it a convincing home run. And that just kind of set the tone early, it seemed. You know, they scored 2 runs, had 4 hits in the first inning, and then they kind of went silent. Eric, innings 2 through 7, they didn't plate a single run. And you wondered if it was going to be one of those close ball games, bring a closer in. You wondered if the Angels were going to sneak up and maybe find a run here or there to try to make this a game. And they obviously had other plans.
It was the typical Astros game where they get a lot of runners on base, then the lob monster comes, where they keep on running, leaving runners on base, and you're like, what the heck? If this is the playoffs, you got to get those runners in. No excuses. No surrender. You got to take care of business. And if you're going to play a team like the White Sox, they're not going to have any mercy, and you can't have any mercy. You got to get those runners in. But the Astros did take care of business, and at the end of the day, it didn't matter. And you have Shohei Ohtani looking like a fool against some of Valdez's pitches. That one curveball, I think it was a curveball, or was a slider. I don't remember exactly what it was, but Ohtani doesn't look bad a lot. But that was a bad swing. And Framber Valdez, cut and all, flesh wound, whatever you want to call it, he looked great tonight.
Yeah, he did. He had the one inning where he let the ball get away from him a little bit, got the bases loaded, but they ended up inducing a ground ball, so got him out of the inning. And then Brooks Raley came up in the 7th inning, and he actually faced Ohtani. Ohtani hit the ball deep on him, but kept the ball in the park. Raley is the guy that you want facing someone like Ohtani. Raley's been pretty unstoppable. Raley has been pretty. What are you doing? Are you trying to give me a hint? Okay. I thought maybe you had a twitch. Hey, you know what? My screen's a little off. Oh, well, it's midnight. It's 12:01. So I don't care if my screen's no.
I do, man. Come on.
Eric, Brooks Raley has been absolutely dominant since the trade deadline. And so we need.
His ERA is below 5. When did that happen?
Well, we need guys like that to step up big, And so, yeah, I mean, dude, Brooks Raley hasn't been giving up runs. I mean, he hasn't even really been giving up hits. He's been striking out a lot of players. And so that's going to happen to your ERA. And, I mean, look, Marwin Gonzalez hits a grand slam. And Martine Maldonado hits a home run. So you have these unlikely home run heroes tonight. I don't know if you want to save it for the last segment or talk about it now, but did you hint that your mind might be changed about Marwin Gonzalez?
We can talk about it right now. Since joining the Houston Astros, he is 4 for 21. 3 of those hits have been for homers. That's you might say, but Eric, that's good. He's got the extra base pop. Yes, that's great. He's got those extra base hits, but he's batting. I don't know. I guess that, what is that? That's not a very good.
Marwin Gonzalez is hitting 202 right now.
Well, I know
he's got an OPS of 589. His
that's
OPS
190
is
with the Astros.
Well, he's 200 points under. Yeah, he's 200 points under Martine Maldonado on OPS. Marwin Gonzalez, I know everybody loves Marwin. I'm not saying I don't like Marwin when I say this, but I do not give a roster spot to Marwin Gonzalez. I just don't. I give a roster spot, the 26-man spot goes to Pete Solomon, period, end of story. It goes to someone, a pitcher who can come in and help out. You don't have a third catcher. You don't have 13 position players. You have 12 position players. You have, you have 13 position players, 13 pitchers, but Marwin Gonzalez does not make this lineup. He's not a good enough hitter right now.
I have a theory.
Okay, well, give me your theory.
Chandler Rome tweeted something today when in that situation when Marwin Gonzalez came up. He said, I do not understand why he's leaving Marwin Gonzalez in and not pinch hitting Aledmys Diaz in this situation. Aledmys Diaz has the better bat, and this is a perfect situation to bring him in. Here's why. Dusty Baker likes a veteran, and he's auditioning Marwin Gonzalez for a postseason role. So, yes.
But Aledmys Diaz is a veteran, too.
Yes, but Aledmys, we all know what Aledmys Diaz can do. He's auditioning Marwin Gonzalez to see what's going to happen. The Astros were already ahead. The grand slam was not necessary. I mean, it was great.
Oh, no, that's the thing. And don't hear me wrong. I'm not saying I dislike Marwin. I love Marwin Gonzalez as a Houston Astro. Okay, no, I'm not. But I am also, and I've learned, especially this season, to look at the facts and to look at the empirical evidence, Eric.
Right.
And you would be taking a roster spot from a guy who has a legitimately better bat to put Marwin on this team. And if you're willing to sacrifice that, then Marwin, I don't know. I'm just saying. If the
bat would be Garrett Stubbs. If you take Garrett Stubbs, and Garrett Stubbs, honestly,
okay, then you'd be taking a pitcher because I don't want Garrett Stubbs in the playoff roster.
In the
I want
first
2
round,
catchers.
You're gonna need that.
You don't need 3 You don't need 3 catchers in a 5-game series. No, you don't.
Mm-hmm. You need you're not going to need all the pitchers in the 5-game series. That's in the 7-game series. You're going to need the extra pitcher. We've talked about this, and you're going to need the extra bat in the
okay. So Taylor Jones has a 1,000 OPS.
Why is Taylor Jones not up right now?
Because Marwin Gonzalez has taken his position.
Okay.
Marwin Gonzalez has taken his spot on the roster.
Don't you think that if he was an option that he would be up here? So,
yeah, he should be up here. No, they just made the choice not to send him up here.
I'm just saying. So I'm not saying that Marwin Gonzalez had to make this, and I would not bet on it. And in fact, I would bet that Garrett Stubbs would be the guy who's probably going to make the postseason roster at this. I've changed my mind. Go ahead and tell me about betonline.ag.
So we're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back to start another football season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline.ag continues to be the number one source for everything football. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. That's double your initial deposit just for signing up. Don't forget to use promo code NFL100. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available in the 2021 season. Bet online, the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. Bet online, your online sportsbook experts. Promo code locked on.
All right. I think somebody needs to send a memo to the Tampa Bay Rays and say, hey, the Astros are trying to catch you. You're not supposed to win. You can only win 3 more games for the Astros to catch you. So can you go ahead and not win anymore? That would be great. But you know who did lose? That would be the A's. And I know we talked about that beginning podcast, but the Mariners beat the A's, and that's actually a good thing. So the Mariners kind of, I think they gain a game on the A's, and the A's gain a game, go a game backwards. So 6 games for the magic number, and that's when they can start celebrating.
Well,
So the Astros look like, as of right now, they'll be facing the White Sox. The White Sox lineup is very right-handed. Like everybody's talking about Zach Greinke. I heard it all on the radio today. Zach Greinke struggles versus right-handed hitters,
he does.
and there's a whole article in the Athletic about it today, and they said that his velocity is down a little bit. It is a concern, but at the same time, you don't put a guy who hasn't pitched out of bullpen since 2008 in a bullpen in the playoffs. So he's most
And
likely going to be the 4th pitcher.
with a Hall of Fame resume.
Right.
And Eric, I would be very surprised if they made him the game 4 pitcher. I'm just telling you, they are gonna pitch him in game 1 or 2. That is not what I would do. That is not ideal. But they are gonna pitch Greinke in one. They're not gonna pitch him on the road. They'll pitch him at home in Minute Maid Park. What?
We'll see. We'll see. And
I'm just saying,
it all depends on how everything.
Everybody said Lance McCullers should be the opening day starter. Who was the opening day starter? Zach Greinke. Zach Greinke is going to get first choice in one of the first spots in this rotation because he's Zach Greinke. Not because he deserves it, not because it makes sense, but because he's Zach Greinke and he's a veteran. Now, if he doesn't, then they'll go counter to what they've done all season with veteran pitchers and players. I'm just saying that's the pattern that I see. That's my prediction because it just seems like that's what they do. When you have the years, and that's why I think Odorizzi is going to be one of the starters in the ALDS because of his seniority, because of what they signed him to. His contract is incentive laden next year, and this guy wants to prove himself. And Dusty's a big experienced guy. Now, if Murphy and all these other guys, these pitching coaches, are making that decision, maybe they move Odo to the bullpen and they start Urquidy. You know what I'm saying? There's so much to talk about with that. But really, the bottom line is we don't know what they're going to do. I think ideally, McCullers goes game 1, Valdez goes game 2. That's what I would do. But they don't do what we think. Like you said, they don't care what I think. They don't care what the fans think. They're going to
I think though.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sure.
Speaking of caring about things, I never wish an injury on anybody.
Oh no, never.
But apparently, Carlos Rodon started today for the White Sox, and he left after the 3rd inning, and he said he wasn't right. And Tony La Russa said, "We're concerned." And he said that Tony La Russa said that he needs to be examined and reassessed. But at this point, he thinks it's doubtful he pitches next week. So if this is a long-term thing. I know long-term is not is I don't know. I mean, if it goes into playoffs, that could be a big issue for the White Sox playoffs plans, because this is their ace. This is a guy who has shut the Astros down in the past, and this is a guy that a lot of Astros fans fear. So
Right.
if he's out, that could be a whole different can of worms.
Oh
For the
yeah,
Astros.
that would change a whole lot for them. But remember, and I say we, the Astros took care of business at home versus the White Sox. So I think the fact that we have home field advantage in a White Sox series, I think that bodes well for us. And like you said, we don't ever on the show wish that I want the opponent to be at full strength. And I know the Astros want, I mean, nobody wants anyone to get injured. But if an injury like that happens, that significantly increases the favor to be, or the odds to be in the Astros' favor, because if you lose a big arm like that, you know what I'm saying? That would be huge. That would be a big advantage for the Astros to exploit that, because they're going to have to start somebody who wouldn't normally start. But the White Sox are a complete team. They've got Robert back. They've got Moncada started kind of hitting. They have Abreu, their big first baseman. They've got players, and the playoffs are the best teams, and you've got to play your best. It doesn't matter how many games you win in the regular season. It only matters if you win the last game of the season. And the Astros are trying to get to that point.
Thoughts by Dusty.
If you just win, that magic number will no longer be magic.
What? Did he say that? That doesn't make any sense.
If you just win, that magic number will no longer be magic.
I'm making a graphic of that tomorrow. Oh my God. That makes no sense. I don't get it. Like that's way too philosophical for me. What?
So
Hold on.
yeah, that was just classic. So the Astros made some moves before today's game. We will talk a little bit more about the actual game today. But Dusty Baker said that Kyle Tucker is doing better, but he's not going to be able to play the field for a little bit. So he's able to hit. So we saw him actually play today's game, but he's not going to be able to play the actual field. So that's why you saw him DH, and this is something that he's probably not used to. So you can imagine him being like Jose Altuve playing the Cups while he's DHing like he did a couple years ago. But also Michael Brantley hit in cage today, so he's hoping that they still get him back on Wednesday or so. Peter Solomon. He threw 4 innings yesterday on Monday, or on Sunday. So they had to make a move. Solomon would not be available for 4 or 5 days because he threw 4 innings.
Right.
Also, Ryan Stanek had to go on paternity leave. Sorry. So the Astros had to make a couple moves. So what they did was they brought Brandon Bielak back. Hi, Brandon. You weren't gone very long.
He's on the taxi squad though, isn't he?
Yeah. So I think he was on taxi squad. So it was just like, hi, Brandon, you're back. But the Astros also called up somebody that a lot of people may not have known before. Yeah. And it's like one of those situations where you're like, who is this? And if you didn't have Directv, you probably don't know about it.
You talking about Steph Martinez? Yes, that's right. So does this sound familiar to you? You've got a device that lets you catch the game live, another one that lets you stream your favorite shows, and you're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friends log in for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you all about the simple way to get all your entertainment you love without the hassle, in a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called Directv Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes, and no need to buy another device ever again. And the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter, and the confusion and get your TV together with Directv Stream. You can learn more at directv.com. That's directv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
So what if your vehicle's not working and you need to get to the ballpark? You need to go to rockauto.com to get that part you need, right?
That's right. The ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it's now impossible for your local chain store auto parts place to stock all the parts you need. Why endure pointless, seemingly intimidating questioning and wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing only the brand that their warehouse carries? You don't have a choice in the matter. So save time and money when using rockauto.com. They have an amazing interface that is easy to use. It's user-friendly. Why spend 30, 50, sometimes 100% more just for the same parts? And why go somewhere else and get an upcharge because you're not a professional mechanic? Everybody pays the same low price. They're a family-owned business for 20 years. They treat you like family. Brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, and even new carpet. Well, that's right. We encourage you to go to rockauto.com and check it out. I've checked it out myself. The prices are reliably low. Explore the website. Go see for yourself today. Go to rockauto.com right now. See all the parts available for your car or truck. Right, locked on in there. How did you hear about us box? So they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliable low prices, all the parts your car will ever need at rockauto.com.
Note to self, do not eat popcorn before a show. So Ryan Stanek was placed on paternity list, so he can be gone.
You and Dusty Baker tonight are killing me.
Brandon Belak was recalled from AAA, so he was actually at AAA. So he was.
Did you hear? Recalled. Did you hear who they called up? Are you going to talk about that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Also, Peter Solomon was optioned to taxi squad, so that he is on the road trip in case there's another emergency. They have he's still up there because he pitched great, and he's. So I know some. We talked earlier, and you said on another podcast, and you said that he could be optioned for playoffs or something. So, but we also saw the major league debut of Steph Martinez. He was a Rule 5 draft pick in December and the minor league phase. And a lot of people are like, Steph Martinez? Who is that? I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, he's actually got good stuff.
Yeah. In 35 games with the Sugarland Skeeters, he had a 2.87 ERA with 76 strikeouts and a 0.95 whip in 56 and 2/3 innings. So
yeah,
this kid deserved this call up. This wasn't oh crap, we have nobody left.
No, he deserved it. I mean, you know, they've got guys like JP France down there, that 25, 26-year-old pitcher that is killing it. He was like pitcher of the month, also pitcher of the week just recently. They've got a plethora of talent down there. Sean Dubin, who's really not ready to come up yet, but they've got some other arms down there. You know, Brett Canine has a lot of upside. There's a lot of people hoping him. I mean, Hunter Brown, he's one of their top prospects. But the Skeeters are making moves. They are going. If y'all haven't been to a Skeeters game, y'all got to go. They've got some of our top 5 prospects are all in AAA right now in Sugarland.
And Jeremy Pena is on fire since he's come up.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him in a second. But you might be saying, but Eric, the 40-man roster is full. How the heck did they get Steph Martinez on the team? Here's how. Freddie's Nova was placed on the 60-day injured list, and he is dealing with a torn ACL. So
wow, I didn't know that. Okay,
that means he's basically out for the season, or he's been on the injured list, and they just transferred him to that. So that definitely means he is actually accumulating service time. So congrats to him. So he's actually accumulating major league service time now. So congrats to him. He is actually a major leaguer now. He's getting paid at probably, I think, major league salary now. If I could be wrong with that, but I think that's what's happening when he gets placed on the 60-day IL. So
interesting.
Congrats to him. He is getting some. He's
getting more coin. He got a little raise.
So guess what that means? He's likely going to be called up next year. He's going to probably make his major league debut early next year.
But did you say ACL?
Yeah.
He tore his ACL?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if he'll be an early call up for the torn ACL. I don't know how long.
Well, when he's ready is what I mean.
True. Okay. So. But here's the thing. In Sugarland, they've got Pena at third. They've got Pedro Leon at shortstop. I mean, dude. Right. And they just called up Corey Lee. their number one prospect. You got Corey Lee, Jeremy Pena, Pedro Leon. You're talking about future Astros lineup guys. I mean, they're basically sporting a major league roster right now. I mean,
Right.
and they've got guys we don't even talk about much. CJ Hinojosa, JJ Machednik. I mean, they've got just a ton of talent in Sugarland. And Corey Lee got his first AAA hit tonight in the game. And so
Right.
I love seeing it.
Jeremy Pena coming back from the injury. He went 2 for 3. I don't know if this has been updated, but he went 2 for 3 tonight with 2 runs, a double, a home run, an RBI, a walk. He's batting .435, 17 for 39 with 4 home runs and 3 stolen bases over the past 10 games. So this guy has come back after missing a big chunk of the season. He's come back and he's on fire. So I know a lot of people saying this may not be a future superstar, but this is a guy who can fit into that Ledmus Diaz role, the guy who can play all over the infield, and who knows, he may be a superstar. I mean, not
and
a superstar,
Eric,
star.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, I saw him play the other night. The first time I've gotten to see him play in person. This kid's a specimen, Eric. He looks like a tight end or a linebacker in a baseball uniform. And when he hits the ball, he absolutely smokes it. And then when he plays the field, he's got a great arm. He's got a great glove. Man, he passes the eye test of a major league player right away when you see him. I mean, there's something special about this kid. I'm excited about the future for him.
When did Martine Maldonado have 11 home runs? That's not.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
is that for real?
Yeah, that's not a fake statistic. That's actually real. You know, he's either gets out or he hits a home run. It seems like.
Hey, no, that's Marwin Gonzalez. Come on.
Okay, he's batting. He's batting 176.
I know.
I'm just saying, you don't bat 170. Yeah, that's. I mean, let's.
Speaking of red hot right now, that's Carlos Craig. He went 4 for 5 tonight. He had he didn't have a home run, but he had a big double, and Tucker had a double. Alvarez had a big double, and so this team is hitting. They got 17 hits, and you would think with 17 hits they would have scored more than 10 runs, but you have the lob, like we talked about, the lob monster. And it's just like,
I like that. Did you just make that up on your own? I like that. The lob monster. You need to make a shirt.
I think so. I don't think I heard it somewhere else. I just came up with it. Maybe.
Hey, I have a question. How many home runs did Martine Maldonado hit? Like how many home runs did he hit in one season? What's the most home runs he's hit? I can't talk tonight. What's the most home runs he's hit in one season?
I want to say 12 last year,
No.
maybe, or
it was 14 in 2017 when he was with the Angels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I remember he had a big year, 1 year.
Yeah, he's at home run 80 for his career. He's 20 away from 100 career home runs. Not a bad thing for Martine Maldonado,
I think with our ADD selves, we kind of went away from Steph Martinez, but he throws 90. He throws in the low 90s with a low arm slot. He has throws above a sinker, 4-seam fastball, a cutter, a slider, and a changeup. So it sounds like that's starter material, depending on how he can develop that. But
the only thing is he's 27, so I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a lone reliever with that type of repertoire, but I think it's a little bit too late to be developing him into a starter. So, but we'll see. But I don't know if he could, if he pitches well, he could develop, he could maybe leapfrog Yimi Garcia. Maybe. I don't know.
You talking about this year?
I don't know.
No, they're not going to sign Yimi Garcia and let Seth Martinez take his spot. There's no way.
What do you mean
Yimi, do what?
What do you mean sign?
Well, I mean, they traded for Yimi Garcia. Yimi Garcia is a major league pitcher. Seth Martinez just debuted today.
I said, and what if he comes in over the next 11 or 12 games and just is like red hot? I mean, crazier things have happened.
Crazier things have happened. I just don't think it's probable. I know you're the math teacher. We discussed that last night, but I don't think it's probable.
But Framber Valdez, I'm really glad. I know we kind of mentioned it, but 7 innings, shutout innings after having the cut on your finger. Maybe he needs to slice his finger maybe the blood. No.
Wow, man,
I'm
man, a
kidding.
little Mortal Kombat X here.
Yeah. But this was a great game, and I'm really excited to see what can happen tomorrow. What's the matchup? It's another late game. So don't listen to
Of
me
course it
about
is. Yeah, it's
it's
okay. We don't have to worry. You don't have to keep bringing that
it's
up.
Jose Urquidy with
Uh-huh.
the 7.3 record, the 3.38 ERA versus Packy Naughton.
Packy Naughton. Man, that's
With
that legendary. Look at the flow that guy has. Good
yeah,
Lord. He's got enough hair for like 380s hair bands.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. So
That is awesome.
the Astros have not faced him, so this is a new pitcher. So we'll have to see what happens. But that's all we got. It's 12:30, and thank you for listening to Locked On Astros podcast. Make sure you keep on subscribing, and make sure you go ahead and listen to the Locked On Bets podcast. Until tomorrow night, Astros Locked On Astros After Dark. We'll be back, or late night, whatever we call ourselves, and we'll be back tomorrow. Get some sleep. Good night, guys.